True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient for he that is so wants nothing. We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control? Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. When difficulties arise, you have two options. One is to complain and remain stuck. The other is to get better and overcome. Always find yourself choosing the later. Today, I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. We are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Stoicism is about the domestication of emotions, not their elimination. The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. A Stoic is someone who transforms fear into prudence, pain into transformation, mistakes into initiation, and desire into undertaking. Stoicism teaches how to keep a calm and rational mind, no matter what happens to you, and helps you understand and focus on what you can control and not to worry about, and accept what you can't control. All the hard times you have been through, the adversities that have now passed, they have left you. What remains is the wisdom and strength that you acquired. Hardships will pass, but their lessons will pass, but their lessons will always remain. Remember this if you're going through difficult times. May the flowers remind us why the rain was so necessary. Just keep in mind that the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. You are not affected by reality itself, but by your interpretation of reality. A change of perspective changes everything. Only if you've been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain. You can endure what you must, and you must enjoy what you can. If you're going through struggle, pain, adversity, or all of them at once, just know that you can endure. You will gain strength, wisdom, and perspective from this. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Your true self is not your emotions, such as anger, frustration, or hate. It is the inner witness that knows the rise and fall of your emotions. I will face challenges. These challenges may knock me down, knock me back, or even ruin my day. If I cannot stop these hardships, then I can only change my reaction to them. They will always happen, and I can either give in and let them ruin my life further, or is it possible I can use them as an opportunity to learn and improve? There's only me that has control over how it affects my life. Only I can change the outcome. Zoom out in the grand scheme of things. Is this really going to affect you? We can't even remember what we were doing 5 days ago, let alone 5 years. What matters is how you feel now. If it makes you upset, let it go. If it feels good, let it consume you. What is the point of dragging up sufferings that are over? Of being miserable now, because you were miserable then. Focus on the moment, not the monsters that may or may not be up ahead. You do not control the world. Instead of trying to avoid obstacles, stresses, and problems, try seeing these as opportunities to learn. A confrontation with an ignorant person can be a chance to learn patience. Life will always throw these obstacles at you, so you may as well use them as a lesson and a chance to grow. Busy traffic can be a chance to learn calmness, and this knowledge will transfer into other situations in your life. Change is never painful. Only your resistance to change is painful. It's better to conquer grief than to deceive it. Don't be afraid of challenge. Don't be afraid of change. These can both give way to growth and development. Be afraid of comfort and stagnation. It is in stagnation that the mold grows, and what is living will slowly decay. What was once good is now lost. Embrace change and challenge. Accept growth. Fear is the basis of all suffering. Both desire and anger are manifestations of fear. Fear itself is a creation of your mind. It does not exist independently, since it is a fabrication. You don't have to fight it, just understand it. Understanding is the key to freedom. If there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do us no harm. It is often your own internal dialogue that can be your worst critic. Regardless of your circumstances, you can still choose to fill your head with positive or negative, knowledge or ignorance. Your thoughts become actions. Your actions can change your life. Start with good thoughts. It's likely over time to lead to good actions. If you cannot change something, it is best to accept it cheerfully rather than adding to one's misfortune by grieving over it. Pain is neither intolerable nor everlasting if you bear in mind that it has its limits, and if you add nothing to it in imagination. Understand. A critic doesn't disturb you. It disturbs your ego. You want to know the truth. Your ego is scared of it. Fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. Your self-worth is not dependent on the opinions of other people. Your character is not changed by what they say. A diamond does not lose its shine if one claims it is dull. Your self-worth is dependent on you and only you. Never wait for others' judgment to dictate how you should feel about yourself. Be kinder to yourself in thoughts and actions. No amount of anxiety makes any difference to anything that is going to happen. Life's three best teachers are heartbreak, empty pockets, and failures. You must not be afraid of your uniqueness, and you must care less and less about what people think of you. Oftentimes, we create the worst possible situation in our heads, just for none of it to happen. We cannot stop the harshness of some evils that happen to us. We can, however, stop the constant suffering we endure at the hands of our own imagination. For many, it is a long journey to change the seas, patterns of thinking. But if anything is worth doing, it is worth doing poorly.